He debunks it completely. We'll just pick it up and watch 2 or 3 minutes.
This is called wheel rolling without slipping. The physics name is rigid body rotation with translation physics. Search for rigid body rotation with translation, or wheel rolling without slipping. You will find tons of examples, some complicated, some simple. With this physics, you can work out what is happening to our red mass when 2 movements are happening at the same time. That is, a rotation with the rotation center moving.
All right, so are these 2 things moving? The red dot is moving the same speed in both these examples, and the answer is yes.
This is the same wheel, same red mass, at the same tangential velocity. This time we are adding the forward motion of the wheel. The velocity of the wheel's center is 7 miles per hour in a straight line. What do you think is happening to our red mass now?
So now it is the same
as before? I don't think so. Look at the center of the wheel, it's at a constant velocity of 7 miles per hour. Compare it to our red mass. The red mass is moving in front and behind the center, so something else is going on. It's going faster and slower than the center. It's the job of this physics to work out what is happening. How do we do that? We can use this site's vector addition tool. We can also do it by hand to get a better understanding of vector addition.
So he basically puts in the math showing that it does change
we see a big difference
constant speed changes.
One is always at a constant, the other is not. Take some time to understand the basic physics, understand the difference for the mass. It's not intuitive, but it is a physics fact.
Isn't that the difference that they were looking for in the Michelson-Morley, and they didn't find that, and that's why they said it was null, Austin?
It's a good way of describing it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, this would technically be the reason you get the fringe shift.
Pause this video, have a break, go and look at the physics, check out top to tail. What is an inertial reference frame?
Yeah, this is pretty good here. He describes it quite well.
Vector addition. Links in the description. Relative motion. Inertial reference frames. What is an inertial reference frame? It is a frame of reference, moving at a constant velocity in a straight line, like this train carriage. Any movement or lack of movement within it is as if it is on the ground next to you, watching the carriage go past. The fish in the bowl moving in the carriage are the same as they would be on the ground next to you, watching the carriage go past. It is a fundamental part of physics and astrophysics. I can show 1,000 examples that this is true. I can show one where it is not. The mass has changed to a brass bee. This could be you or me on any rotation that is moving. You now know the difference for the 2 rotations, one moving, one not. What happens to the mass when the wheel is placed in the carriage? Rotating at the same tangential velocity, with the carriage's velocity at 7 miles per hour. What changes? Nothing changes for the mass. It only changes for the observer. The observer in the carriage can only see a static rotation. Observer's position cannot change the reality for the mass. It only changes what they can see to calculate from. We are tricked into thinking what you see is the reality for the mass. The math changes, not the reality. According to relative motion and inertial reference frames, this physics should not exist. The center of the rotation is moving at a constant velocity in a straight line. It is, by definition, an inertial reference frame. What have we learnt from this physics? That the fundamental physics for the rotating globe, moving around the sun, then moving around the galaxy and universe, is flawed. They are all rotations that are moving. We have invalidated relative motion and inertial reference frames. Without relative motion and inertial reference frames, none of it works. Any force acting on a mass, or you, will not be at a constant, due to your ever-changing velocity. There is a reason, in astrophysics, why they do not use rotating reference frames that are moving. The reason is, it all falls apart if they do.
Makes sense. I get it. I don't know if other people do it. I don't see any flaw in it. Anybody else?
No, it was really well done.
Pause, take
I've been
a
enjoying
screenshot
this
of
channel
the
too.
next
I've been
2
watching them
pages.